Hello everybody. Today I would like to talk about why I prefer and exclusively use at this time piccolo snare drums and rack toms as floor toms. Yeah. First, of course, we will introduce the guitar of the day. This is a early 2000s, I think, not really sure, Fender Rattlecan Stratosonic Junior. Pretty sweet. Basically a Strat with a P90 pickup, a single pickup, of course. Volume and tone, fun fact, they both go up to 11. Isn't that nice? Nice holographic inlays on there. So there was a place in Edmonton, Alberta called Avenue Guitars that I'd heard for years kind of people talk about as one of the best guitar shops in the province, maybe the country. I don't know. People said it was amazing. We didn't really go to Edmonton that often, if ever, when I was younger, so I never got to go. I just always hear about people, oh, if you want something cool, go to Avenue Guitars. So I went for the first time, maybe like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. They have a lot of cool amps, a lot of vintage guitars and weird guitars, Dan Electros and Supros and stuff, Airlines, like those really old weird Airlines, a lot of those kind of guitars. And then on my way out, it was kind of hidden in a pile, was this guy. So I looked at it and I said, oh, I don't like Strats, I don't want to buy it, and we left. So then we got home, and for some reason I just couldn't stop thinking about this guitar. So I did some research and I found out it was pretty unique and all that kind of stuff. They were asking, I guess nowadays, versus what American Fenders are now, they were asking a very reasonable price, but for something which I thought was used, it was pretty expensive. I got sent all around Alberta for work. I was gone for a week, hit all these little towns to do some research and chat with people about new system we we're putting in. Right before I was going home, I stopped, went into the shop. I said, hey, Mark, I called earlier about putting the guitar on hold, and they said, oh, we don't have any record of that. And I said, oh God, I hope it didn't sell. And they said, oh, that old thing? No, it's been in the window for 12 years. Apparently this was brand new, so new old stock is what they'd call it. And it had been hanging in the display window for like 12 years. Not a mark on it, not a scratch on it. Amazing guitar, to be honest. It's one of my favorites. I say that about all my guitars, but it is generally one of my favorite guitars. It's just... plays great, super punchy and present P90 versus my other ones are a little bit darker, but I ended up buying the guitar, paid a little bit more than I wanted to, but I'm glad I bought it. It's excellent, one of my favorites. And just a couple years ago, the shop actually went out of business, so... So today, we're actually going to talk about some drum stuff. Yes, that's right. I'm talking about drum stuff. If you're paying attention to these videos, there's a theme. I like to keep the mix clean, free of mud, you know? I find the deeper snares have maybe a bit too much body and they can overpower certain frequency ranges in the song, which is not pleasant. You have to do a lot of EQing or tweaking to make everything fit nice. I find the piccolos just kind of sit up top, just below the vocals, but above the other drums, so they always cut, they always have a crack, and I don't have to do too much work to them with EQ. I think in actually the latest record, I don't even think I put an EQ on the snare. It's just completely raw snare with a little bit of reverb, so that's why I love those. The other thing is that I don't use floor toms anymore. I prefer to use a rack tom in the floor tom position. I fought for a while with a 14x14 floor and a 16x16 floor. I had so much trouble with the big toms. I don't know, the sustain decay, it's either it goes down, or sometimes the note can go up, or usually the note pitches, it wobbles because I haven't got the heads perfectly in tune. It's irritating. I used the 12-inch rack tom with Scratch Buffalo for a long time, and it always sounded so good, just tuned jaw just above wrinkle. In mics, it's super punchy and low and thuddy, and it picks up just a little bit of resonance off the shell. For live, it can be a little bit hard to hear if you're not mic'd, but hit it a bit harder if we're in those venues. Usually we're always mic'd, so I ended up getting a 14 by, I think it's a 14 by 6.5. Anyway, it just hangs off the ride cymbal stand, and it is so much better. It's punchy, it projects, it doesn't have that weird like wobbly sustain. I think that's just because it's a little bit shallower than the floor toms I'm used to, and the fact that it's up off the floor, can't really couple with the floor and add additional bass. Fun fact is I brought the tom to practice, and Chris actually said, that's the best sounding tom you've ever had. I put some new skins on it, Power Stroke 4, that's it. It's in all the latest videos. It's the yellow one, it matches. So I'm very, very pleased with that. Very pleased. So yeah, that's why I prefer piccolo snares and using rack toms in the floor tom position. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.